Welcome back to All This Math. This is Professor Parker, and I got my guy with me, Big Kwame. Kwame's in the building. All right, we're going to do some more addition with two-digit numbers. You ready, Kwame?
Yes.
All right, you mic'd up? Yeah, you
Yes.
mic'd up? I'm mic'd up. All right, we're going to do some addition with two-digit numbers, but we're going to use a number line. All right, now this is also from the Reveal Math Curriculum, Unit 9. I'm not sure which lesson, but we're using a number line to add some two-digit numbers. So you see two examples right here. I got number one. Kwame, read this equation.
35 plus 66 equals X.
So I'm glad you said that. So Kwame made a mistake, but mistakes are beneficial. Mistakes are beneficial. Kwame has a habit of looking at twos as sixes. Sometimes you do that with threes too. Sometimes Kwame will mean to write a 3 down, but he'll instead write a capital E. All right. So Kwame, these are not sixes. What numbers are they?
2.
They're twos, right? It's the loop that confuses him. We already talked about this. So we'll read this again.
35 plus 22 equals X.
Equals X. So this unknown, this blank space, he likes to use a variable, the variable X. X for Malcolm X. My man. All right. So we got our number line set up here. All right. Now, read number 2. Read the equation for number 2.
31 plus 48
Well, that's the expression, but read the whole thing.
equals X.
Equals X also. All right. So, all right. Now, if those of y'all watched our most previous video, you probably saw Kwame had his gamer hat on. Underneath his gamer hat, he had the 2 braids, right? But he just took his braids out because, well, actually, his sister Asada, right? Those of y'all that are familiar with the channel, you remember Asada.
She's in the kitchen.
So she took the braids out, right? Because Kwame's mom is going to wash his hair tonight and give him 2 fresh braids. You know what I mean? All right. You think your hair looks cool like that?
Yes, I fell though.
You could actually just go to school like that tomorrow with your hair just like this.
Never.
Never?
I already did it like 30. I already did it like for 1 year.
Okay, I guess I know what you mean. I know what you mean. All right. We had to blow out. All right, that's cool. All right, so look, number 1, 35 plus 22. So what we want to do is we want to start at 35. So we just draw a, yeah, you got to excuse Kwame. He's got like a slight cold. That's why he keeps coughing. So he starts at 35, right? And then we use the number line to jump, but we want to decompose 22. So if you're going to decompose or break down 22, Kwame, what numbers are you going to break 22 down into?
2.
Well, 2 is part of it, but what else?
And
how many tens? How many tens are in 22?
2.
So notice that. What I realized was I was asking him the wrong question. A lot of times as parents, we get upset with our children because they're not giving us the answers we want. But in fact, we might not be asking them the right questions. So that's why we're not getting the right answers. We're not getting the right answers because we're not asking the right questions. The question I should have asked him was, how many tens are in 22? And you just told me there are 2 of them. So if there are 2 of them, I can go like this. Boom. And right, plus 10. And then when I do 35 plus 10, what number does that take me to? What's 35 plus 10, bro?
35 plus 10 is 45.
So then we put a 45 right here, right? And then, but there are 2 tens in 22, so I'm going to do this again. Now, ideally, the length that I travel would be the same, but it might not. Okay, I guess it is about the same. Well, now, Kwame, what's 45 plus 10?
55.
55, all right? So now I'm at 55. Now, that takes all of the groups of 10. Now I got 2 ones. So I'm going to do 55 plus 1. What does that take me to? What's 55 plus 1?
56.
56. You're just counting by ones. That's all you're doing. You're just counting by ones. And then we got another one.
57.
57. So 57 is our final answer, right?
Yes.
You want to write 57 right here?
Yes.
So Kwame, he wants to write the answer. You see, right? Make sure you write the 5 correctly. Don't write it backwards. Ah, okay. That's your 5 because it's 5 10s, 7 1s. My man. High five. All right. Now, slide back over that way so we can see number 2. All right. But before we talk about number 2, I do want to say this. Many parents may be wondering, well, why we got to do it this way? Why we got to do it like that? How is that helpful? I'm going to tell you how it's helpful. As a person that has taught algebra for many, many years, right? In algebra, a critical component of algebra is the number line, right? When you, especially when you get into solving inequalities, right? Algebraic inequalities, we graph them on a number line. Also, before we even get into the XY coordinate plane, which we got over here, you see this one over here on this side of the board, right? The x-axis is the number line. So before we even really get to start talking about y equals mx plus b or point slope form, y minus y1 equals m times the quantity x minus x1 and all that, or standard form, ax plus by equals c, we got to start with, and we graph these things on a coordinate plane, right? The xy coordinate plane, we start with the x-axis, which is the number line. So why not introduce that to your children when they're in first grade or kindergarten or even earlier, right? Why wait until later? Let's just introduce it now. Introduce it in first grade. So this is why we do this. This is why this is in the curriculum. This is why this is beneficial. So by the time your child gets into that pre-algebra course or that algebra 1 course, they're not feeling overwhelmed at this foreign, situation, or this foreign tool, this number line, because it's already been introduced to them. Because they was dealing with this in first grade, right, Kwame?
Yep.
All right. So now, I just want to make sure, because what I'm trying to be very intentional about is letting parents know that might be watching this content. This is why your child is being taught this. And this is why your child will benefit from locking in and learning this. All right. Early in my teaching career, I didn't do as good of a job of that. Actually, I hardly ever talked about why. I just talked about the how and the what. But the why is another important concept, right? All right. So now, Kwame, number 2. Read this equation again.
13 plus, 31.
31.
Plus
3 10s, 1 1.
48 equals x.
Right. 3 10s, 1 1. As I said before, numbers have a definition just like words do. Numbers and words both have definitions. The definition of 31 means you have 3 10s, 3 groups of 10, and 1 1 left over. The definition of 48, you have 4 groups of 10 and 8 1s left over. All right. Now, we start with, when we do this, Kwame, usually we start with the bigger add end, right?
Yes.
So you don't have to, but that's typically what we do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw 48 right here. And then how many 10s are in 31?
3.
3 10s are in 31. 3 10s are in 31 because 31 can be decomposed into 30 plus 1 or 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 1. So if I go, watch out, bro. Move that out the way. Bro, move that out the way, bro. So I'm going to go like this, right? I'm going to add 10. Kwame, what's 48 plus 10? Tell the people what 48 plus 10 is.
48.
Can't nobody see you, bro. You got to get on your stool. What's 48 plus 10?
48 plus 10 equals 58.
All right. Now it's 3 groups of 10 and 31, right? So now we got to do another 10. What's 58 plus 10?
68.
68. Now we got to do another group of 10, right? Because that's 2 groups of 10, right? Let's do another join. So plus 10. What's 68 plus 10? 78. There we go. Notice how only the digit in the tens place keeps changing. 4 turned into a 5. 5 turned into a 6. 6 turned into a 7. So now we got 78. Now, how many 1s are in 31? How many 1s are left over?
3.
No, those are 10s. Just 1, right? Just 1. So we go like this. Boom. And notice how the width that I went for plus 1 is not as big as the width that I went for plus 10. What's 78 plus 1?
88.
That's 78 plus 10, bro. What's 78 plus 1? What's 8 plus 1? You're adding the 1s now. You're not adding the 10s no more.
79.
79. 79. See, it's okay to make mistakes, right? It's okay to make mistakes. We learn from mistakes. So look, every time I'm either doing a video with Kwame or I'm just working with him, when he makes mistakes, relax. That's good data. That's important data. So it's not something for us as parents to get frustrated with them about. It's not something for us to yell and start cussing them out about. And I know from experience because, as you know, Kwame has 2 older siblings, and I made those mistakes with them. Sometimes I would yell, get frustrated, get angry. I didn't realize that when they make the mistakes, that's important data. You take that data and then it informs what you need to explain to them. Remember that. Let me say that again because it's that important. You take that data, incorrect answers, incorrect statements from your children. That is important data. And what you don't want to do is you don't want to get into the habit of yelling and fussing at them to the point where they don't feel comfortable making mistakes. You want them to feel comfortable making the mistakes because they're going to learn from their mistakes. So you want them to take that data, or you want to be able to take that data, which is the mistake, just like a correct answer is data also, because that tells you what you don't need to review as much, right? But when they get something wrong, that's important data. That tells you what you need to review over. So now this let me know that, because I said, Kwame, what's 78 plus 1? Homeboy told me 88. So that lets me know that sometimes he confuses adding a 1 with one group of 10. So that's something I need to lean in on, and we need to like practice that a lot. So it's cool, right? Because we got time on our side. We got time, especially if your children are young. You get your children are young, you got time on your side. So there's no need to get as frustrated, right? But you got to remember to tell yourself that, because a lot of us grew up in households where our parents yelled at us. So we just passed it on from generation to generation. So we got to stop that and remind ourselves that we got time. It's cool. The mistakes are data that we need to use and we can benefit from. All right, Kwame, where you going, bro? Bro, you at work right now, bro. What are you doing? All right. So the final answer is 79, right?
Yes.
All right, now come on. No. Come over here. You said you wanted to write the answer. So write your answer. This guy.
79. And it's not a 4.
Not a 4, right? It's a 9, right? Because it's circular at the top, right? All right, so that's about it. So Reveal Math, grade 1, unit 9. We got Professor Parker and Kwame. Anything you want to say to the people before we
like and subscribe and share?
Peace.
I fell again.